PC gaming can be a frustrating beast. While games are always improving, they often require the latest and greatest video cards and processors to perform without choppy graphics or even hard crashes. And now with the 360 and the PlayStation 3 vowing to rule your life, are the days of the gaming PC numbered? Control-Alt-Delete. It's the loop. Note that on a standard keyboard that was the proper distance for the Control-Alt-Delete. I'm just saying. Joining me now, editorial coordinator for Tips and Tricks magazine, Abby Happy, and Manifesto Games CEO Greg Kostikian is here. Thanks for joining us in the loop, folks.
My pleasure.
Greg, this conversation happens all the time. It seems like every year, now it seems multiple times a year, people are saying, PC games, man, where are they going? They're selling less and less. I mean, what do you think, Greg? I mean, have consoles finally surpassed PC games?
I think you have to keep in mind is even though the sales of PC games at conventional retail have declined precipitously over the last 5 years, we've also seen the emergence of the casual games market, which is 300 million plus, and the kind of subscription revenue to massively multiplayer online games, which is over $1 billion. And also, I think, increasing interest in kind of the independent games movement. So I don't think it's true that PC gaming is dying.
Don't you think we have that same kind of stuff with the Xbox 360, the live arcade, and being able to download? Those sort of games like Geometry Wars has been hugely popular on consoles.
Sure, Bejeweled is now out in high def on the 360 as well. So, I mean, Abby, what do you think? Aside from the casual games, the PopCap games of the world and the World of Warcraft, are you picking PCs or consoles when it comes to your gaming?
Definitely consoles. I mean, when it comes to PC, what is it more than World of Warcraft at this point? You've got just as good graphics are going to get to the point where unless you're using some sort of microscope that I don't have access to, you're not going to be able to tell the difference between your PC and your console. Plus, you'll be spending a lot of money. Even though the price point on the PS3 seems high, it's still cheaper than putting together your own graphics card on your computer, building your PC for gaming.
I think graphics is kind of not the point with games in general at this point. With both PCs and with consoles, we've gotten to the point where graphics are good enough and people are no longer really going to be competing on that basis. What we have to be moving towards now is creating original gameplay and coming up with essentially whole new genres of games.
So where's the Guitar Hero for the PC? And where's,
Well, look, but basically all the innovation and gameplay that's going on consoles is in hardware innovation. And if your idea of innovative gameplay is blowing into a microphone, then yeah, you should be going for consoles.
Well, great, but great. Let me stop you there because that is something that I have been wrestling with, and that I used to be the biggest defender when it came to the PC platform, especially because of the independent games and the garage game type developers.
Right.
But now, I mean, I have seen the guitar controllers. I have seen touch sensitive screens. I have seen games that have motion sensitivity now with the Wii or the PlayStation 3 controller. So, and aside from graphics, how can the PC be more innovative? What is going on the PC side of things that is trumping any of that?
Okay, but again, you're looking at technology. What I'm saying on the console side, a developer essentially has to go through two layers of potential censorship, both on the console manufacturer and on the part of a publisher. PC is an open platform. I don't need to get permission from Sony to develop for it. If I've got a really cool idea for a game, I can go out there and try to find an audience.
But I think that they've really been trying to open up things like the 360 for third-party developers and have cheaper developers be able to put their games onto those consoles. Plus, I don't think that you can just push off the hardware. I think it's a really important part. It's getting integrated so much into gameplay with the DS, with the Wii controllers, and PC can't compete with that at this point.
Well, I'm all for innovation in gameplay, however it comes through, and I think it's great that, say, the Wii has the kind of controller that it does. But still, fundamentally, when I come down to play a game, it's not my ability to wave something through the air or strum a guitar that gets me interested in the game. It's what are the game mechanics? How are they combined in new ways? What's novel and interesting about this game? And I don't think you can get that out of hardware.
Now, Abby, there is something to be said for massively multiplayer games. They've been trying to bring these types of games and real-time strategy games to consoles for years. They've never had any success. With those two genres alone, can you possibly discount PC gaming when in the foreseeable future nothing's going to trump that on the console side?
I know that they're developing those kind of games for consoles at this point, and whether they're going to be as successful as World of Warcraft, which kind of had the advantage, got out there. It's what everybody's playing at this point for PC, but I'm not seeing anything else innovative come out of the PC. I'm seeing the same games ported to both, and they're going to do a Warhammer game for the 360 for these consoles. I can't really say what the popularity of those games
in fact,
is going to be yet.
This is one of the basic problems the PC games industry has faced over the last few years, is that as budgets have grown so enormously, publishers have to ameliorate their costs by releasing on multiple platforms, which means they're really developing for console games first. In essence, PC gamers have been getting Xbox's sloppy seconds. So if you want
Is that then not a sign of the coming apocalypse that is PC gaming when developers are focusing on the consoles?
That's a sign of the problem with the conventional retail channel. But as games start to move more and more through online distribution, the need to have those kind of million-plus unit sales and high budgets, I think, diminishes, and you get kind of the long tail effect that we see in music, where there can be products that are popular with a niche audience, but popular enough to justify the creation of the product by the creators in the first place.
Well, I think finally we have to talk about the price issue here, because this is, casual games aside, which I believe, PlayStation 3 is coming with the browser. The moment they get Flash on that, the entire casual game market is then immediately accessible by the console world. So I don't want to diminish that point too much, but I believe that's going to be the near future. But let's look at the barrier of entry here. People are complaining about a $600 PlayStation 3, but last time I checked, a single graphics card alone could cost you that much. Abby, do you think price is a factor when it comes to PC games?
Absolutely. I kind of gawked at the price when I saw the PS3 at first too, but when I compare what you get on the PS3 compared to what you get, building a graphics card, building your, computer to play games, it seems a lot more reasonable. And, the Wii isn't going to cost as much as that, and the 360 is already down to about $400 at this point. And the graphics are great, the games are great.
Greg, what do you think about the price issue?
I think the cost of PCs is essentially a non-issue. Firstly, it used to be that there was a much greater disparity of cost. Even like a standard PC would set you back $3,000 and a console costs $200. For $600, you can get a PC that will play just about anything other than Doom 3, the really high-end games at this point.
All right, I got to thank Abby and Greg for joining us and keeping us in the loop. Personally, I said it 1,000 times, I used to be ultra hardcore with regard to PC gaming, but when it came time to choose between a new gaming rig or a next-gen console, honestly, I traded in the mouse and keyboard and I pocketed the difference. And now I just show my junk to unsuspecting Uno players on Xbox Live. If that's not the future of digital entertainment, I don't know what is.